first 10 years, I think, were hell for me. I don't know how you feel.
I don't know what they were.
Do you look back and be like, what a great time?
No. No. It was like, divorce is not a word.
One of us got to die for us to get out of this. Like, you just praying like, Lord, if it's me, just take me on home, Lord. Do you remember your first impression of me?
You know, Lord, I just want somebody who can lead me, is tall, skinny, and wear hoops. And I was like, oh, he might fit that description.
Yeah. So I was just that dude. You too?
Sure.
Touchy subject. But you walked me through a clinically depressed state. That get me emotional. I ain't finna cry today. I go on this big tour. And I'm super Johnny gung-ho Christian guy. Everybody loves Jesus. I get on this tour. It's not my tour. Won't name no names. And I'm seeing people kind of wilding. And I'm like, y'all not really living this out. Like, is this whole thing fake? Now, I don't think I believe in this stuff no more. I don't want to do Bible studies with the kids. What do you think in that moment?
This is The Deep End with Lecrae.
All right. So 3 seasons ago, we started this podcast. And from the beginning, people were like listening to my story and having questions about, what did my wife have to say about this? Or what was it like for her? Or you won a Grammy. What was it like on her end? Or you had these lows or these tough times. What was that like for her? And what's her perspective been? And I asked her to come on the podcast, and she said no. And she said, I don't do the talking. I'm behind the scenes. She is a servant leader, that is for sure. But, she's like, I don't do the talking. I don't want to do all that. And I told her this is not going to be a big deal. It's going to be low key. It's just us having a conversation. And she was just kind of like, no, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. So, it took us, I don't even know how many episodes later, but 3 seasons later, and I pushed and I pulled and I drug her in here kicking and screaming. But we got her in here, y'all. We got my wife, Darragh Moore. We are happy. We are grateful that you will bless us with your presence. I know you hate this.
Yep.
But I'm glad that you're here. So why do you not want to do this?
One, it's not my thing.
Okay.
I'm purposefully, I just don't like being in front of the camera.
Okay.
As far as asking me questions, I'm a rambler. It's just not my thing.
Okay.
And I like to do what I do behind the camera.
This woman engineered my my first album, so that you've been behind the scenes for a long time. A long time. But you're a lively, fun person. Everybody loves you. Every time somebody gets around you, they love your personality. You're the life of the party.
Camera.
Just not on the camera.
It's not on the camera.
Okay.
I mean, and also it's just like texting. You don't want people to take things you say and do the wrong way, and
so the opposite
it's easier
of me.
Yeah.
Like, I say things and mess up all the time, and you'd rather be a little more like, and then I get myself in trouble.
Yeah, I don't care about messing up things.
Okay.
In person, because I can clean it up. But we can talk about it. We can figure whatever. But I just don't.
You're not gonna mess nothing up.
No, it's not even just that. It's just people and their interpretation of what you say and what you do, and which is the same in life, but it's way worse when it's like thousands of people who don't know you, and I don't want to deal with all that.
I feel you, which makes sense, and I agree with you. I wish I never dealt with none of that. Being honest. Just a lot of people just don't know, like, your story and who you are and your background, but they interested. They're genuinely interested. I know it's weird to you that people are interested in your life, but people are interested in your life.
Okay.
Like, give us a snapshot. Where are you from? You know what I mean? Like, who raised you? Where did we meet? Give us a backstory. Give us something.
I'm a proud Texan. I am from Texas, the Dallas area. Grew up in DeSoto. Mother, father, stable home. Yeah. Grew up in the church. Loved my church. My dad grew up in the church I grew up in. Not sure if my grandmother grew up in the church, but I think she might have too. So we've been in the church for a long time. So yeah, grew up in church.
Shout out to Truly.
Yeah, Truly Missionary Baptist Church, South Dallas. Hey, yeah. I'm only child.
Which
a lot of my church family and friends, that was my siblings. Didn't have, it was pretty regular, degular. Growing up.
To me, it's like the most perfect circle. I mean, your life isn't perfect, but it's the opposite of mine with all the chaos I grew up with, and having you have this like great dad, great mom, church family. Y'all went on church trips.
Yep, church trips.
Y'all drove everywhere.
Had a great youth group. Drove everywhere.
So just from knee high to tree high, you were always in church.
And loved it.
Yeah. Do you think? I don't know. Do you think that growing up in church makes a difference in terms of like how you see the world as an adult? Do you think it made a difference for you?
Definitely. That's where I got my foundation. Even before going off to school, even though I didn't necessarily always understand things, or I didn't understand some things until I got older, just having that background, especially going off to college, was a huge foundation in my life, and it definitely shaped me, molded me to this day. Definitely.
Do you remember the first time we met?
I don't know, like the exact first time we met, but I remember for the most part, yes.
Okay, what do you remember? Because I know my version of it. I'm curious.
I know.
What do you remember?
I don't. I feel like your version was when we were trying to go to the Impact Conference.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like I met you before that. But
I probably did meet you before that. I just don't
so
remember.
I know we met through the Bible study on campus.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how. I just knew we were trying to go to Atlanta. We were in Denton, Texas, at the University of North Texas. Our Bible study group was trying to go to the conference in Atlanta, and I didn't have the money. I was me, you, and I want to say Vanja. Was it me, you, Vanja?
I can't remember.
I don't know, but I just remember us like we were going. I was asking people that I knew, reaching back like, "Hey, I'm trying to go to this conference. Come get some money." And somehow we were out on the streets trying to find money to go to this conference,
holding up signs.
Yes,
like we'll raising money for mission trip.
I don't even remember how that happened, but I just remember that was the start of it, of us meeting.
What do you remember your first impression of me?
What was my first impression of you?
Loud. I don't know if I was loud.
I don't think I thought you was loud. I was like, oh, he was what was funny was my only prayer for I remember praying of who, Lord, I just want somebody who can lead me, and is tall, skinny, and wear hoops. Don't know how that was my random prayer. And I was like, oh, he might fit that description. I don't know. But what was funny was not knowing at the time. I didn't know till later that you weren't even a believer yet. You became a believer on that conference.
Yeah.
But I would never known. I even know like until later, way past that conference, that you didn't know anybody. You just fit right in. Just thought you were, But yeah, I just remember that. I remember you were not. You were energetic, but you weren't like over the top, like So I didn't think you were.
I think I wasn't trying to show off as much around the Christians, I was 18. I was trying to learn. So your first impression was like, oh, maybe I was date worthy.
Yeah,
Word.
I guess. Well, no, I don't know. This is your first. I don't know if I knew that because I didn't know you like that. But I was like, well, he's cute. He's tall. He's at the Bible. He's at the Bible study. So I don't know, maybe, but clearly,
that is funny.
We didn't get together till way later. So
the hoops is crazy because
the hoops was funny. I don't know what that was. I was like, I just wanted somebody to be taller than me in heels. Okay. Skinny, or not skinny, but tall. I guess slender. Basketball shape. I thought basketball.
Yeah.
Physique and hoops. I figured basketball because they'd probably be taller than me.
That is funny. This is the first time I done heard the hoops part.
That is stuff for real?
Yeah, I remember
funny.
Hearing that.
Yeah.
My first impression of you was, I thought you were cute. I thought you were lively. Like you was a ball of energy. You get it crunk, get it crunk.
I was definitely that. That's why I probably wouldn't think you were loud because I'm like, I was already loud enough.
Yeah, you was a ball of energy. Yeah. And I thought you were cute. But there was
thought I was homely.
That's later.
Okay.
That's later. I did think you were homely, but that's after I started to debate if we should date or not. Then I was like weighing my options. But when I first met you, I thought you were cute. I just thought, I knew I wasn't a Christian. Well, I guess I was like, I didn't know Christian was like a heart change. I thought it was like a choice. Like, oh yeah, I guess I'll decide to be Christian today. I didn't know it was like a transformation. So I was like, I'm not that serious about God as she is. So in my brain, I was just thinking, she's too serious about God for me. That's kind of what I thought about all y'all, if I'm being honest. But when I saw you, that was my thought process, was too serious about God. So I just was like, And I was experimenting. I didn't really know what I was looking for. So that's, I didn't know what I was searching. I gotta tell you a quick story about a family member. So one thing I've learned over time is that not everything works for everybody, especially when it comes to hair. I've watched people try to follow trends and use what everybody else is using, and it just doesn't work for their hair texture or their hair type and their reality. So my sister has textured hair, and for a long time, she was just trying to find different things, hoping that something would stick, and not really seeing the results that she was looking for. So being a good brother that I am, I put her on to something. I put her on to Bask and Lather. And what stood out was that this wasn't some one size fits all product. This actually was made for textured hair. She's now using the stimulated scalp and hair balm, which actually feels like it's nourishing your hair. It's not just sitting on top of it. It's made with natural ingredients. It's not greasy. It helps reduce breakage and it adds shine. And so, you got the hydrating hair mist as well, which has been a big deal for her too, because this is going to keep the hair soft and hydrated. It's going to help with the detangling, especially with protective styles. And what I appreciate is just seeing a difference over time, right? Less dryness, healthier look overall. And you go on their website and you see all the befores and afters, and you're going to be like, okay, this is not hype. These are people really seeing results. And what's even crazier is the story behind it. This is a Black-owned, family-run company that started because the founder's sister was told her hair might not ever grow back. And now her hair is healthy down to her hips. If you've been trying stuff that doesn't really work for your hair, it might be time for you to try something that's made with you in mind. So explore viral bestsellers and products of healthier hair, all types, from Bask and Lather. Just go to baskandlatherco.com and use the code DEEPEND for 20% off everything. That's 20% off at baskandlatherco.com. Code is DEEPEND. Get your 20% off. All right, let me talk to y'all for a second, especially those of you who've got little ones dependent on you. I remember when life insurance first came up for me, and it was one of those things where I knew I should handle it, but then I just kept pushing it off. But then life got real, and then kids and responsibility and people counting on me, showing up every day. And then it hit me that, this life isn't really about me. It's about making sure that if something ever happens to me, that my family isn't left just trying to figure out everything while they're hurting, right? So that's what made me take it seriously. And I'll be honest, I thought that the process was going to be super complicated. But what surprised me was how simple it actually can be, especially with Fabric by Gerber. So Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance that you can get done today. It's made for busy parents just like you, just like me. It's all online. It's on your schedule. It's right from your couch, and you can be covered in under 10 minutes. Often with no health exam required. Here's something else I learned. If you're young and you're healthy, this is actually the best time to lock in a good rate. And even if you have insurance through your job or some retirement, it's a good start, but it might not be enough. So I want you to join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their family. You can apply in just minutes at meetfabric.com/Lecrae. That's meetfabric.com/Lecrae. Also, use my link so they know that I sent you, okay? Meetfabric.com/Lecrae. Policies are issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company, not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions. What made you join the campus Bible study?
Because I knew right away I was gonna gravitate to what was biblical. So I sought out the choir, the gospel choir, the Bible study, but that's where that foundation of growing up in church. I still went through my stuff in college, but I knew that foundationally, this is where I needed the Lord, and I know I needed to seek out things. So that's how I was immediately.
Yeah, the thing that sticks out to me is you was doing the women's program, which is this Bible study at this church in Denton, and I don't know how many girls are in your class, maybe 25 or something like that. And out of them 25, there was only 2 black girls.
Yep, there's only 2 of us.
And you are very soulful. So you're not like the typical black girl that you would imagine to just be hanging out with a whole bunch of other white young ladies.
Mm-hmm.
So my brain was trying to figure it out because you was like, whatever, girl, la, la, la. But then you like hanging out with Becky and Sarah, and my brain couldn't understand. Like, why was you just okay with being in an environment that was completely different than what you grew up in?
Something in me, I don't know what that is. I always like being different. I always like different. Yeah. And I didn't care. It was like either you accept me for who I am or you don't. And I'm just like, hey, I'm interested in it. I'm gonna check into it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And if I wanted to do it, I would try it.
And so
I didn't care about whether it was majority this or majority that or
yeah.
It didn't matter.
Like, you didn't just not care. You went all in. Like, you lived with these girls. You like, these became your buddies. It was super strange to me because I was just like.
But I also, it wasn't to me though, because I also where I grew up at the time, my high school was predominantly white. Like, we had, it wasn't. By the time it ended, there was more and more people being that were brought in, came into the school.
Your high school is hood now.
Maybe. But it's definitely not the same as it was when I was there. But that gave me, so when I went off to school, I just felt like there was a bigger version of my high school. So it was like, I'm not uncomfortable around other races. So to me, it was like, okay, like this was just an extension of what I've already been going through.
Did you feel like they accepted you, or was it weird ever for you, or did they treat you different? Who? Being in
college or
in college?
Okay, so my personality, I don't really give people time to really. I just, right. I just do. I am just me, and I'm not thinking about whether you. I'm sure I do. I am very observant, so I do think about things, but I'm not. I don't think through that. I just go. Mm-hmm. So
I want to learn about God. I'm just gonna join this group.
Yeah, like this is. I know this is. Biblically sound, and I want to grow, so I'm gonna do it. So.
Yeah.
What that mean? Anyway, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. What was you about to say?
I kind of forgot. What was your question again?
Okay, don't worry about it. It's fine. This is what it's like at home.
Yep.
No. Okay. I'm curious because we were talking to somebody the other day. I can't remember who we were talking to. I don't know who we were having a conversation with, but you said that I used to evangelate. I had a women's ministry.
Yep.
Okay. Break down what that looked like from your perspective.
Okay, so those who don't know, we were friends for 8 years before we actually got together. Mm-hmm. So during those 8 years, I would have crushes on you off and on. But it was very just nothing I really thought was ever going to come out of it. So you date people, I date people. So we would see what was going on. We were friends the whole time, but nothing more than that. So in that, I would see, all of us in the ministry would see that, if you would date someone new that wasn't part of the ministry, they would come, you would introduce them because you want them to grow in the Lord too.
Yeah.
But next thing you know, y'all broke up and the women stayed. And so there were several people that came a part of the ministry from dating you.
So
we called you the evangelator.
What did y'all think of that? What was people's perspective? Do you remember what they thought?
You was the evangelator.
Was it like a negative thing, or was people like I don't know? I'm just curious what that.
I don't know. It was. If I think back on it, I don't know if it was necessarily a negative thing because most of the girls stayed, and it was like, hey, they're stayed. They want to grow in the Lord, so I guess that part was good. But are you hurt? Like, are you hurting these girls? Like, what is So more in that part, it's like, okay, just be careful. I think it was more just like, just be careful with maybe, are you hurting these ladies or, like different things like that. But they stayed around for, and
I was young.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. So the funny part about that is, from my vantage point, it was like, this was the most solid ministry, campus ministry, young adult ministry. And I was like, if somebody could be a part of this, they'll grow. So I wanted them to be integrated because this is my community, my family, but I had jumped the gun in dating them, so I didn't know to both guard my heart, guard their heart. It'd just be like, you love God, I love God. Or you kind of say you love God, but I don't know. But you'll know better if you become a part of this. But
I think that we saw that, and I think it was like we just saw you as that's Lecrae, because then you would be around, then you'd be gone, then you'd be back, then you'd be gone, then you'd be back, and so it was just kind of like that's Lecrae.
I remember though before we started dating, well, as when we were dating, right? So first of all, our dating process was weird. That's a whole nother conversation, but. When we started dating, I remember one of the campus leaders, James, came up to me and he said, "Do not break her heart. Do not break her heart." And it was the first time I felt like, oh shoot, I cannot break up with this one. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like everybody was watching me. Like you keep on bringing these girls around, dating them, and then being like, I'm good. Don't do that this time. Don't date her unless you're serious. So,
because I want to say I was probably, if I'm not mistaken, I probably was the first one that you actually dated that you didn't bring in.
Right. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is true.
But so even then, I knew I was like, if he approaches me, he knows like.
Yep.
I have too many brothers out here and sisters that will be like. So I knew that you had to be pretty serious. Like all these years if you hadn't, and once we did, I was like, he's gonna have to be. Yeah.
Hey, I know. You were appreciating what you were listening to. And listen, I gotta say something because some of you run businesses and you need this bit of information. Now, one of the easiest ways to lose money is miscommunication. We think it's marketing, we think it's strategy, but sometimes it's just the fact that somebody called or texted or reached out and nobody followed up. And that's literally money walking out the door. So that's why I've been paying more attention to how communication actually is set up across the team, because if it's messy, then things start falling through the cracks. So today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Quo, and it is a the smarter way to run your business communications. Now, this is what I like. It lets your whole team operate off of one shared number. So now it's not like, oh, I thought you got that message, or oh, I didn't see the call, because everybody sees the same thread. Calls, texts, voicemails, all in one place. And it works wherever you are. So phone, laptop, doesn't matter. Plus it's smart. It logs calls, it summarizes conversations, and it helps you keep track of what actually needs to happen next. So you're not gonna drop the ball just because things got busy. If you're trying to grow something, that kind of system is really gonna matter, because consistency builds trust. I need you to make this a season where no opportunity and no customer slips away. Try Quo for free. Plus, you're gonna get 20% off the first 6 months when you go to quo.com/deepend. Just try it, because now you're gonna get it with 20% off the first 6 months. That's quo.com, quo.com/deepend. No missed calls, no missed opportunities. There are people listening right now who genuinely love God, but your thoughts do not let you rest, right? You're praying and then you start wondering, did I say it right? Do I need to start over? Or then a random thought pops in your head and it's something that you would never choose, but now you feel guilty just for thinking it. And because nobody ever talks about this, you start assuming maybe something's wrong with me spiritually. But what if it's not a spiritual failure? What if it's actually something called religious OCD, also known as scrupulosity OCD? And what that is a form of OCD that latches on to the things you care about most, like your faith. And it pulls you into cycles of doubt and anxiety, just trying to get everything right. But the relief never lasts. That's where NoCD comes in. Okay, so NoCD is the world's leading OCD treatment provider. Their therapists are trained in ERP, which is exposure and response prevention, which is the most effective treatment for OCD. They understand that these intrusive thoughts do not define you, and they help you break out of that cycle while still honoring your faith. They offer live virtual sessions. They're covered by insurance for over 155 million Americans, and they support you between sessions, so you're not doing this alone. So if any of this feels familiar to you, do not ignore it, all right? Go to nocd.com and book a free 15-minute call with their team. That's nocd.com. Do not stay stuck in that cycle. For you, I always tell my version of the story about how we met. And my version is, I always thought you were cute. I saw you, but I was very, what's the word?
Picky.
Picky. What's the word when you like superficial?
Yes.
I was very superficial.
Yeah.
So it was like, I wanted to love the Lord, but then I also wanted to be like, she got a little sauce. Mm-hmm. She a little, you was you wasn't hood, but you was. I thought you were because you grew up going to church in the hood. Your family members are a little soulful. I'm just say soulful, But so I was like, she got to be like a little urban twist to it, but you just were not like I'm about to put on my best outfit and step out. You were like and even to this day, you see college students and they go to class just like, whatever. I'm just here to get my education and get up out of here. And that's kind of how I felt about you in school. Like you just like, I was like, man, she would be bad if she just X, Y, Z. But I wasn't going to say that to you. And then one day, was it Gina's wedding? Whose wedding was you? Tarinthia. One day you were going to one of your friends' wedding. And I saw you with your hair done and your nails done, about to go to the wedding. I was like, shoot. I said, if she could do that on a regular, it's all good. So that's what made me say, yeah, I got to make that move. Because I saw you in a superficial light at that period of time. I knew your heart was right. We was already good friends. But which ended up being probably the best thing for us is that we were good friends. But that's kind of my version of it. When do you feel like it got serious?
What?
Like us dating. Like it was like, oh, this is real. Because I mean, it really was from the jump, I guess. But
I guess it depends what you mean by real. I don't know what you mean by real. Because I feel like I feel like because we went through our process was fast, but we went through I guess I would say I remember when we had that sit down. I had that. We were basically trying to see if we were going to like, okay, are we going to just end this or pursue this? Because it felt like, it wasn't that you was trying to make me somebody that I wasn't, but because you had such particular standards and things and just whatever it was, it started making me uncomfortable. There was a period of uncomfortableness, and I felt like that was I didn't realize it, but I guess you were seeing it, and it was making it hard for us to have conversations. It was something like that. I don't know, but I remember sitting down. I don't even remember the conversation and what was said totally, but I think I was like, I don't feel like I can always be myself. It felt like you kept wanting me to be something else that I was not, and it was like, and that was putting up a wall. And I just remember us having a conversation, and that wall came down, and I just felt free to be me. And it wasn't that I even felt I was trying to be something else. I just felt like you were wanting something else. I don't remember. Maybe you do. But I just remember a wall coming down then. And then we were like, okay, we can do this. Okay.
Because we didn't date. We weren't like daters. It was like, hey, if I'm going to date you, like I'm dating you with the intention to marry you. And that was our conversation was like, I'm dating you with the intention to marry you. So I don't want to just date you to see if I like you. I know you already, which I think was dope. But then it turned into, okay, we hitting a couple bumps in the road.
Yeah, and it was like walls were building up.
Right.
And then,
so now what? And I don't remember how we got through that.
I remember us being at a restaurant, having this conversation, and something was said in that conversation where I just finally felt you communicated something in a way that made me feel like, okay, that's not what he's doing, or that's not what it is, or that's not what he's, even if you were, you didn't want that, but something made that wall come down, and I just felt like we were just able to just have a conversation freely and just be. But I don't remember the ins and outs of that conversation.
I never asked you this before. Did you feel like God, I don't know, like were you praying about us, or were you like what was your conversations with God like during this time?
So I definitely feel like it was, I feel like definitely looking back, I just felt like I could always see God's hand on my life and just guiding me through my life, looking back on it. Not necessarily thinking it at the time, but always seeing that. And I felt the same way with this. It's just like I was saying earlier, how we knew each other for 8 years. Never dated, never even knew. We were good friends. We would hang out just with each other, but it never felt like we were dating or anything. I always felt like friendships. And through that, knowing I would have crushes on you on and off. I'm telling Vanja, I got a crush on him again. And all that, telling my best friend, and but then you'll be dating somebody, then I'll be dating somebody, and it was, nothing ever came of it. But I remember this one particular time, I was finally like, okay, Lord, I didn't even say anything to Vanja. I was just like, okay, Lord, I want this feeling to go away. I was like, I just want to see him as my brother. If this is not what you have, if this is not what you want, I should not have these feelings. I truly want to just see him as my brother in Christ. And I remember having that prayer, and literally, not even probably days after that prayer was when I went with y'all to that. I went with you to a concert. We drove to one of your concerts, and came back, and you were like, it was late, and you texted me, and you was like, hey, I think we need to have a talk.
Is that when I got you to Dr. Pepper?
Yes. So, okay, I can go to that. I can do that story if you want me to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing about Lecrae, even though he was an Avenger dater, he wasn't flirty. To me, you never a flirty person.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of girls liked you, but I never saw you as a flirty person. Mm-mm. And I remember, I think it was me, you, and maybe Tadashi, I don't know, and one of the guys that you were Jamie, I think it was Jamie. We were coming back from the concert, and I helped y'all sell merch, and I was driving. I remember you going to the gas station, and you just came back with some Dr. Peppers and cashews, and I was like, you asked me if I want anything. I was like, no, I don't want anything. And then you came back with Dr. Pepper and cashews, and I was like, oh, whoa, that's weird. Those are two of my favorite things. And I was like, thank you. And then we got back to y'all's place, and I think my car was there, and we had somebody went in, and anyway, I just started, it was a couple of things. I started feeling like little bitty things of flirting, and I was like, is he flirting with me? And that might have been when I was like, I had that prayer, and I was like, okay, Lord, I don't, and you've never been flirty with me, so I didn't even really know what it was. I was like, I was like, that's weird. I don't know what's happening
with the Dr. Pepper and the cashews.
There you go. And so anyway, what was your question?
That just basically like you felt like the Lord's hand was guiding you in this, and that was
with
But then that was the Dr. Pepper moment. That's
no,
what I
it was something. It was something else. I was going somewhere with that. What did you asked me?
I wasn't flirty. I wasn't. Oh, that's when that night is when I came home and I hollered at you.
You're saying that I ever have? Yes, because I had prayed that prayer, and I was like, okay, Lord, I don't want to see him like this. And I remember I wasn't telling anybody. I was like, I'm for real. Like I just want to see him as my brother.
Yeah.
And you sent that text, and I was like, you was like, can we meet tomorrow? I feel like we need to have a convo. And I remember in the past, something you've told me. Well, let me rewind. I text you back, and I was like, yep, and I'm available now, because I was not trying to wait till tomorrow to have some conversation to figure out what you were about to say. And so we had the conversation. You called, and we started talking, and I should have known then that this is going to be, you had a whole bunch of analogies that you were giving me in this conversation. Mm-hmm. And I remember having all these thoughts. I was like, okay, he likes me. He doesn't like me. He thinks I like him, but he doesn't like me. It was all kind of things going on in my head. Cause I remember you telling me in the past, if a girl ever liked you and you didn't, you would tell her like, hey, this isn't really, it's not going.
I don't want to lead you on.
Yeah. And you told me that. You had told me that before. And so I was like, maybe that's what is happening right now. And then, I told you, yep, I don't know what you're trying to communicate. And you ended up letting me know that you wanted to
date you with the intentions of
courting. Yeah.
Yeah.
To marriage.
Like to marriage.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy at the time. Like I didn't know how to date. I don't think I knew how to date, like modern dating anyway. Like I didn't know how to just, let's go out and eat some food. And then like I didn't know how to do that without being like too intentional. So it was like a weird thing. Like I don't think I could have just took somebody out on a date to a restaurant and not been like so intentional that they would have been like, wow, he's really interested in my life. And then it would have been ugly. And that's how I got in the Evangel dating situation. So I was like, I'm just not going to date nobody. So we hit the fast forward button a little bit. We dated
I want to say we dated 4 months.
4 months.
We was engaged. And then
6 months.
I think it was like 8 months we were married.
Okay, so 4 months dating, 4 months engaged. And then we got married. And what I'm curious, because a lot of people ask this question just in terms of like my music career and stuff. They don't, like, people are like, man, what did support look like? Did you know he was like, I don't even know. Our brain wasn't thinking about So I know for me at the time, I think I had quit my job at Comcast, and then I was rapping, but I was getting like love offerings. I may have been making like 500, maybe like 800 a month rapping. And then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna marry this guy. So what? Like,
so for me, the biggest thing was literally, had always been my prayer is somebody who can lead me spiritually. And just because we knew each other for 8 years and me seeing your growth, and I was able to see like, okay, your inconsistency and then your consistency, like I was able to see that it's just being your friend, not having any kind of, we're dating, we're together. And I think that was a better thing to see. And I was able to see your growth. And so I never, even still, never doubted where you were leading spiritually, so even through all that, because that I didn't care about,
the financial.
I wasn't caring about the financial because you was helping me out, trying to teach me how to budget.
Talk to these women out here.
To me, that was literally because I felt like if somebody can lead you spiritually, and this guy is truly honoring the Lord and following the Lord, then that's all I. At the end of the day, to me, that's what's most important, because everything else should fall in line. Because, and so that's truly how I felt. And so, to me, it's like I saw that in you. I was attracted to you, so it was like,
yeah. So I was just that dude. You feel me?
Sure. So anyway, so for me, and I like I say, you was teaching me, helping me like how to budget and showing me, and everything. So that was never. I mean, probably should have been more not concerned as far as for you, but just for myself, thinking or whatever. But anyway, yeah. So
what did early on in the early days? I'm going around doing like YMCA community centers, small church youth groups. How are you feeling at that time? Did you feel like I need to be supportive? It was fun for you to travel, because you used to travel with me. You used to do my merch, all that type of stuff. Like, what are you thinking at this time? Is this just fun for you? Is this like an adventure? Or are you like, I don't know about this? Like what are you thinking during this season, the early days?
Honestly, even when I look back at that, I see how even the Lord, just the way I was brought up, like with my parents, we literally drove everywhere. Like, the conferences, wherever they were, I drove it. We drove wherever that was, and I enjoyed that. Like, I enjoy the simple things. I enjoy simple things, and so I feel like I just naturally went into that rhythm with you. Even like, I feel like even my dad being a fireman, like he was gone for 24 hours and he was home for 2 days. So even in that, I saw where someone may, he wasn't traveling, but he wouldn't be there like for 24 hours, and then he would be home for 40. You know what I'm saying? So I already even saw a schedule of a leader who, even in that, because he wasn't traveling like you and being gone like you, but that still kind of gave me a like, I don't know, it just felt like I fell right into it, if that makes sense. But as far as how I saw you, is that what you said?
Like, how did you feel about all of this during, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I would say number one, my thought process was never you was about to go where you were. Like, we none of us ever thought that. What I saw was someone who loves the Lord, he loves what he's doing, and he's spreading the gospel. So, from the beginning, just seeing that, I guess you could say it was still fun. Like, I enjoyed, well, number one, because I was a fan in the sense of, I thought you were very talented. Like, I was like, whether we was together or not, I was like, you were one of my favorite, whatever you want, gospel rappers, Christian rappers, whatever. And you was like, having, and that was just you rapping at the school or at the praise parties or whatever. It was your lyrics, and I could tell you were gifted. And so,
it was just a fun journey. It was like,
yeah,
you felt like it was, so that's interesting to me because.
But it didn't feel like, I don't know. It was just so natural because I was literally there from the beginning.
Yeah.
In a sense, except, so it never.
I didn't feel pressure to be. I knew I was going to take care of you, so I never felt pressure to like I gotta make it. Otherwise, like I knew I was gonna do whatever I had to do. If
Yeah,
I had
and I think that was the same for me. Like I know if nothing else, you was a hustler, and not like in a hustler like I'm like drugs and nothing, but you was just like, I'm never gonna not be able to pay my bills.
Right.
Like if I have to go and work here or do that and do that, like even when you because you was already done with Comcast when we got together, but I saw that process with you too. Well, I was your booking person. I mean, I forgot
you
about
did that.
Yep.
You did my booking.
Before we even got together, I was your booking person because you got to the point where you had enough. You never knew if you were going to get paid, but you would go to those shows. You would drive to the point your car blew up, your engine blew up.
Yep.
But you would drive and you'd be like, you might get some or you might not. But there was enough to where you were able to sustain, to have a little. But I knew like even if you didn't, you would figure it out. Like, so I always saw that in you.
Yeah, that's funny. I think for me, I just saw you were a servant. You always were serving, like everywhere. You were volunteering for Reverend Clark's after school program. Like you drove school buses, you drove the pregnant girls, and you was developing relationships with them. Like you served at the campus ministry. You was the DJ. You was the doggone engineer. You was doing like everywhere there was to serve. You was serving, which to me I thought was attractive. And then I think the nail in the coffin for me was you just wanting to volunteer to jump in the car with me and the fellas to just, I'll help you with your merch. Like you were just always down.
So I would say that was fun. Like to me, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was like, I enjoyed that. So and then you're like, hey, doing the shirt. It was just fun.
Yeah. So let's fast forward a little bit more because as I think people see us now and they see like, oh, wow, like, I don't know. Like I see a lot of couples online where they're young, struggling couples and the wife is like, I'm going to help him get his business off the ground and I'm going to push and da-da-da. That's not really our story. It wasn't like we were trying to build something great. It was just we was loving God and doing what we love to do. I don't think I wasn't striving to hit a mark ever. Like I was just glad I could do what I love to do. But I'm curious, because for me, moving to Memphis, not just moving to Memphis, but moving to the hood in Memphis, for me was like, oh, we made it. Like this is my dream come true. Like put me in a prison, put me in a hood, put me somewhere where I can just like reach people in dark places. So I was in heaven. I thought this was the best thing ever. A lot of people are curious, how did I get you to go along with me to like, did you feel like you were being dragged into the trap? Like, what's your perspective on that?
No, it literally all goes back to I literally trust your you letting the Lord lead you. So it was never like, I don't know what he doing. I don't know where we're going as a family. Like I just never. It was never that. It was literally. I mean, we would talk about things, but like I just never. I never felt like he's leading us astray. We're about to.
What? Okay, first, imagine there's a young lady listening to this. Like, what are those characteristics that you would say were important to feel like, okay, I can trust this person's leadership? Like, what do you feel like you saw or needed to see that made you feel like, okay, I can trust his leadership?
That's a good question. I truly believe it was seeing you those 8 years of friendship and seeing like literally your growth in the growth. I saw consistency in your faith. I saw consistency in just your leadership with the guys you was discipling. I saw even though you was a venture dater, I even saw you go through like towards the end. I saw your, I guess your pickiness or your whatever, like even the growth in that. Like I saw so much growth in you, your consistency as a leader outside of a relationship as just a man. That, because I don't believe that we would have gotten married. I would have said yes if I didn't see that to begin with. So to me, already seeing that and just your leadership overflowing into our marriage, I would just oh, sorry. I would just say, yeah, really, being prayerful, and really observing and watching the growth in this, in what you're truly seeing, and getting to know this person before committing to this person. And not saying it's gonna take 8 years. Sure. We were young or whatever, but I think that was huge. That was huge, and that's like you just said, like that's why we're still together to this day. Through the hard, the good, the bad, the all that.
We're gonna get to that.
Yeah. Is
yeah. That puts. I mean, to me, that should put pressure on guys to be consistent. Like, it should put pressure on guys to say, like, no, this is who I am and what I'm about. Integrity to me was always like, when nobody's paying attention, this is who you are. That was always important to me. Is like, if I mean, even today, as when we were in service, I knew there was tons of eyes on me, and my prayer was, Lord, this is not for show. What I do today, I don't want to think about anybody's eyes on me. I just want to be connected to you, because I know that's more important to God. It's funny because I get people's questions. Like, they're like, man, she was with you in the hood, and people were getting killed and this and this and that. But I'm like, it wasn't like you were like, oh my God, why did you have me out here? This is so scary. I don't like it. It was literally like you were just serving. It was like, I don't know. Like,
it was like we were one. It was like your call was my call. This is what we're doing. This is where, and as he leads you, I think there's something else, to piggyback on your question from earlier on women who are single women, is something that I've consistently seen and has never failed, in which I saw before and all throughout our marriage, even when you had your struggles, is you always wanted to grow. If you don't know something, you're like, I'm gonna go try to figure it out. You consistently want to grow.
Yeah.
And anyway, that was huge. And so even if we got it wrong, you got it wrong, you whatever, you wanted to know. You wanted the answers. You wanted to grow.
So then I got to ask you this then.
Sorry. Do I need to fix this mic? Okay, because I know I knocked it up.
You brought up, even in the difficult times, like I've been very transparent about the period of time for me where I felt like I was super church hurt. I felt like I didn't know if I could trust the church, and if I couldn't trust the church, could I even trust God? And I remember coming to you and being like, yo, I don't think I believe in this stuff no more. I don't want to do Bible studies with the kids. And I don't think I've asked you your thoughts about that. Like, what are you thinking at that point in time? Like, how are you processing this leader that you said, okay, I'm gonna follow him, and now he's like, he don't know where he's at spiritually?
Hold on. You said what?
Basically, I'm just saying, like, how did you process that when, you were saying, like, even through the struggles, you wanted to grow, but now I'm at this place where I'm like, man, because I guess basically what I'm thinking, I remember this specifically. I go on this big tour, and I'm super Johnny gung ho Christian guy. I'm just like, everybody loves Jesus. I get on this tour. It's not my tour, but it's a tour. I won't name no names. And I'm seeing people kind of wilding. And I'm like, y'all not really living this out. Like, is this whole thing fake? So now I come home, I'm a little like less excited about the word. I'm just kind of like distraught. And then I remember being in Bible studies and being like, y'all, this is just black ink on white pages. I don't really feel it. And then all of a sudden, we see a lot of innocent black people getting killed on TV. And I'm like, well, I'm going to say something about this. And I did not expect to get blasted for it. And I'm getting blasted. So now I'm already jaded. Now I'm feeling hurt. And I'm dealing with all this stuff. And then I'm coming to you further down the line in the darkest of places where I'm like, I don't think I believe this anymore. Like, what do you think in that moment? Are you like, oh, God will work it out, you'll be fine? Or are you like, this is scary?
I think it was a mix of things. I don't know if I ever heard. I don't really know if you ever. I know you would say it, but I don't know if it ever felt like it. To me, it felt more like I'm questioning things, not like no, I don't. And so for me, I never really felt. I felt. I don't know. I think part of me during that time. Not. I'll say. I felt like it was a phase, but not like a phase. Like I'm loosely saying, oh, it's just a phase of life. But I do feel like this was a season, a tough season for you. I felt like even though in that I think what held me first of all was the Lord and faith. But it was still, even in that, you were still seeking. You still wanted growth. And for me, it's like, if I believe in the God that I say I believe in, you seeking him, he gonna show you. And he did. You know what I'm saying? So I never felt like, I mean, there may be like little moments where it would be a little like, okay. But still, I feel like my faith was over that. I don't know if that makes sense.
You are a faith girl.
Yeah.
I'm a skeptic about stuff, and you be like, God got it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, stop saying that.
Yeah.
Like,
And even though it may be like, okay, so now it's just I have to hold down this faith, like, maybe more during this season. But like I say, even in that, you were still seeking. You were still
asking
whether
questions.
you was even if you fighting it, you still wanted to grow. And I think that's always been consistent. No matter what, however hard it gets, even you were still seeking. So I'm like, God's gonna show him. He's not like, I don't believe this, so I'm not doing nothing. I'm not gonna, I never felt that. So I don't know that answer.
No, I think from my perspective, I look at it like, I knew you were a faith person, and I'm a head. I always got to read a book about it. I got to ask a question. Like, God speaks to me a lot of times through processing it mentally, and it used to frustrate me how you could just be like, I believe God is who he says he is, and I'm just gonna trust God. You're gonna have to trust the Lord. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, this is killing me. You know what I mean? But I see how that worked out. And it's not like I didn't catch you in your prayer closet or anything like that, but I'm sure you were praying often, but I do feel like those prayers carried me. You know what I mean? Before we get further down the line, I'm curious too, just we back up a little bit, because I remember our early marriage was the first 10 years, I think, were hell for me. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, they were, I don't know what they were.
What would you, do you look back and be like, what a great time?
No. No. I always tell people, like, we never had a honeymoon phase. Thank the Lord we were friends. But it was a struggle, it was a struggle. But even from Jump Street, I remember that was one of the first things you was like, divorce is not a word. It's not something that's going to be, it's like, we are fighting this, so that was never, I feel like it was never that in the beginning, but it definitely was tough. It was like, this, it is what it is. We just,
I'm gonna tell you.
it.
Okay, so these are the couple things that I think about. I don't know if you got stories, but these are a couple stories. The first story I think about is our first argument, our first fight. I don't know if you remember that.
I only because I feel like you told me about some paper plates or something.
Yes,
and I was like, what is happening?
Okay, so first fight, I think we were just barely married. We might have been married like 9 months, because we were living in that apartment complex in Texas.
Yeah, because we were only there 6 months, and then we moved to Memphis.
Yeah. So I remember first being married, and I'm like, hey, you were making dinner, and then you served dinner with paper plates. And I was like, we just got all these dishes for our wedding. Why are we eating off these paper plates? And he was like, why not eat off the paper plates? And I don't even remember. I don't know how. I know I was pushy, very self-righteous and pushy. but like I would say things in a nice way, but it was really like, ooh, you are trying to get under my skin. So it could have, I think it was something along the lines of just like, I'm not saying this is what I said, but it would have felt like, well, it would probably be a good stewardship for us to use the dishes that someone paid for us when we got married instead of using these paper plates because I had this expectation, we're married now, we need to eat off of, you know what I mean? So, were you about to say something?
I think that was a lot of our struggles. I feel like in those years was whichever one of us having expectations, but those not being communicated, and then it comes out in something. It's like, why are we arguing over some paper plates when it's really deeper issues? And I feel like that was so much of that time where we had issues over something else really was a deeper issue, but because we weren't communicating those things, it came out as an argument over paper plates. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, so I remember that being the first argument. That's the first time I realized you had a temper. I didn't know you had a temper.
Just so everyone knows. So that was definitely the struggle in our relationship was he was Mr. Self-Righteous and I had the anger issues.
Yes. So it was an oil and water.
Yes.
Which you don't get to see in friendship a lot of times because you're not really like, that was something that we didn't get to see. So the other argument that I remember that stands out the most is when I really felt like, yo, I was like, one of us got to die. So somebody gonna have to die for us to get out of this. Like you just praying like, Lord, if it's me, just take me on home, Lord, because I don't want to get divorced. I felt like the D word is off the table at that time, especially the perspective we had. It was like, like we're no divorce, but we also weren't saying we need counseling either. And I remember just like being like, oh, somebody gotta die, Lord. Like just let one of us die, Lord. Then this whole thing will be over. Just take me to heaven, God. It'll be fine. But the argument I remember, we're in Memphis and we over by Wolf Chase Mall. And I don't even know what we were arguing about.
I don't either.
But it got so intense. In the middle of the street, you was like, let me out.
And I was so serious.
You was like, let me out.
And this was not, I don't even know if there was Uber at the time.
No.
I don't know where I was going.
No.
But I was like, and I think it was nighttime. But I was like, I'm getting out this car, whether you stop it or not. So let me out this car.
And I'm just sitting there like, what are you doing? Like, what is the goal here? Like, what are you doing? Where are you gonna go?
I was getting out this car. And I was just gonna walk somewhere. I don't know where. Thankfully, you did not just let me walk wherever I was.
I was like, this is craziness. So now I just remember being like, yo, man, just let this marriage end. Let it dissolve. How do we get out of this? And then like, shout out to our mentors, but they didn't. But they helped, but they didn't help. It was like,
well, that was only because we didn't tell them or something. It wasn't like,
That's true. I'm just saying they helped in terms of like modeling.
Yes.
Consistency. But then when I would be like, man, I don't know, I'm kind of in a hard place. It would be like, man, y'all need to go through the Bible, man. Go do Bible study. That word, is one. So the thing I would say is, I think it got to a place where if it wasn't for the Bible, the Spirit of God, we wouldn't be together for real. Yeah. Because I think it was like, okay, if somebody got to be wrong, maybe the Bible can show us what's right. Like, so it'd be like, all right, let's see what our hearts need to be on. And then I remember countless times watching our wedding video just to be like, okay, you love this woman. Stay in the fight, Cray. Stay in the fight. You love this woman. So we're just barely married. We live in Memphis. We're like 6 months in, and then another 6 months after being there, we're pregnant. So we were barely married. We weren't even married a year for real. And
I think 9 months probably.
9 months. Now we got a kid.
No, I was pregnant.
So then that was a whole thing, you being pregnant. Then after David is born, turn around, and then 18 months later, Maya's born. So now it's 2 kids, freshly married, and we never had a honeymoon phase. I never felt like I never felt like I had a time period where I could be catered to or thought of. It was like, oh, it's just kids now. You know what I mean? So it's like that never really got cultivated. Like the only highlight reel I have of our being without kids is us watching 24. We watched 24 hours of 20. We watched 24 and 24 hours. And then that's like, we didn't go to
In the Wire.
We didn't go on trips, like we went on mission trips, but we didn't go like we didn't have no money.
Yeah.
So, so what for you do you feel like I don't know. I felt like it was hopeless. What were you feeling like? Were you just like whatever? How did you navigate those 10 years of just hell?
I don't think, how, I don't know. I think for me sometimes because I'm such a slow processor, there are certain things I'm not really processing it
In real time.
as that at the time. I look back on it and see but but at the same time, I do feel like there became a point, and I'm not good with remembering exacts and things like that. But where it was like, okay, I felt like we finally got on a better pace in our marriage or a better groove in our marriage, and that was actually I just felt like it's just hard, and it's like we praying and we're trying to grow individually and as a couple. We still try to do things, so it wasn't like yes we didn't have a honeymoon phase, and yes it wasn't we just jumped right in the nitty gritty, but there were still good times in it. So it wasn't like it was just but it didn't feel like it just felt like it was taking us longer to get into a groove, even though, but it's hard to, you're not necessarily seeing that in that because it's like you're married, now you're pregnant, so you're excited about that, and you're having a baby, so it wasn't like it was, so I don't know if that makes sense, but so it was like, I just process it now looking back on it and see, oh, wow, that was, whoa.
I think the way for me out was I knew I had to change because I was like, oh, she's stubborn. I was like, I can't force her to see things the way I want to see things. She's gonna wall up before she'll be like, if my intentions, if she questions my intentions, a wall's going up. So I know I can't just force her to see things my way. So for me, I was like, oh, I gotta change. Otherwise, we're not going nowhere. You know what I mean? And I think that's where.
And I feel like I felt the same, not as far as that, but I just feel like I felt the same as far as like the Lord has to change some things, in me or in you. Like only the Lord's going to be able to do that, and we just didn't know, but we were still like, okay, but we're still in this, So yeah.
When I talk a lot about like people look in my life and they see my career and stuff, but they don't know where you fit in all of it. They're like, what is your role in all of this, and how are you seeing all of this stuff? And when we go through the church clothes era and then Anomaly and the Grammys and the BET Awards and all this stuff starts coming in our lane, in our world, I talk about how I dealt with it and like how I navigated it, but a lot of people are curious how you navigated that. Did you see it? Were you like excited about it? Were you afraid of it? Like what was your experience? Because there's some wives who are probably like, I want to share in this and let me help be a part of this, and or like this is an opportunity for whatever I got going on to get some shine. Some wives are like I feel like he's getting too out in the public and he's just Johnny famous guy, but for you, what was it like for you?
I have to go piece by piece on that.
Okay. Let's just talk. When did you realize this is a big deal? Like, oh, stuff is getting big. And did you feel like it was, or was you? I know the answer.
The Cipher, probably.
Okay.
I think that was a turning point.
Talk to that.
First of all, even just the fact that you were just invited to even do it, it was just like, oh, whoa.
A lot of people like the backstory for that is kind of crazy too.
Please tell it, because
the backstory for that is I got invited to do the BET Cipher, and you're going into labor.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, this is a once in a lifetime.
I was close to. I could have been.
Yeah, it was like once in a lifetime opportunity. Wife going in labor. What you gonna do?
I think I was probably 9 months. I was close to. I was in that where I can have a
in that
baby
window,
any day now. Yeah.
any day now.
Yeah.
And it was like, what do you do?
Yeah, and I was like, go.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't leave, and you were like,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I think for me, it was just seeing a bigger picture of like how God was using it. Even in like your hard times, whatever, you can like, at least for me, I'm clearly seeing like how God is using you and how he's using you to touch people. And I feel like I've just seen that period. From the jail ministry, from you with the juvenile detention center, and just seeing how you're touching people, like touching non-believers. And so it was like, hey, I see that, and this is a great opportunity. So it's like, go do it. It wasn't even a
thought. They're gonna look at this and just think you're the most supportive. Like, man, she's just godly. I don't know, but I mean, truthfully, you are just a very like simple, selfless. Like, hey, okay, you know, I mean, unless them kids are involved. When it comes to the kids, then it's like, let's prioritize. Okay, so the Cypher's the thing to you that
I feel like that was
big.
starting to be like a turning point in your like, from what I can remember, because it's been you know. I feel like that was a turning point in whatever you want to call it.
Did you feel pressure? Are you feeling? Did you ever feel pressure like I gotta be a celebrity wife or anything? No. Okay, why?
Because I wasn't going to.
but why? Like, if you see,
because that's not what I. Like I said, I am who I am, and I know who I am,
okay.
And there's things that come with that because people. Now I will say I have felt over the years that people have had an expectation of me, and you know, and I may have, you know, maybe let some people down. I don't really know. Because I really literally can only be me. Like, you know, if you know me, you know I can't be fake. I can't. All I know is how it's to be me. I'm not good at
pretending.
Yeah. So that's never been me and was never going to be and never will be. So, I mean, of course, I mean, I'm married to you, but I'm just saying, I've never felt like I have to be somebody I'm not. Once we got past that wall before we got married. Yeah. You know? But yeah, I don't know.
So when there's Grammys and then there's #1 album, like, how's that stuff affecting you? Are you just like, you take it in stride, or like, how are you processing? Because from my side, my head is so down, I'm not realizing all these things.
I was like, in the moment, I mean, definitely, especially like, you know, when you got the first one, we were all just like, I mean, definitely was not expecting it. So it was just like, whoa, you know, so it was definitely a whoa. Like, I can't believe that, like, that just happened. Or because you're not even, like, that just wasn't the goal has never been, at least as far as, you know, what I've, you know, never seen it as, I'm just trying to be this big whatever this was. It has been like, I want to serve the Lord and serve him, you know, however I can. And then all these things just started happening. Now, of course, there was, you know, struggles, and I feel like, you know, we would have conversations if I'm feeling like, okay, all right, Lecrae, maybe something this or that.
What's something this or that?
I don't know. You have to remind me.
You talking about like me getting a little too like Hollywood?
Yeah, I feel like I was maybe your
filter.
Yeah, or something.
No, you have always been.
Yes.
Because I'm the one. I remember when we got the Suburban.
Yeah, he was like, we are not.
I was gonna put the rims on there, and you was like, nah, we not putting them rims on the car. So, yes, you asked me.
But I feel like that's just your natural whatever is. You know, I'm California. I want to be. I'm Mr. You just have a very, you know, you're creative. So you have a very creative.
You call me a peacock?
I don't even know what that means.
Just like, I got to show off. Oh, okay.
No, not a show off, but you just.
Expressive?
Yes.
Yeah, expressive.
You're expressive.
Expressive.
I want the long hair. I want my Cali braids. I want my this. That.
Okay. All right. Slow down. Slow down.
I mean, so that's just you. So, but anyway, but not, I don't feel like it's like, hey, I want to stunt. I don't feel like it's that, but.
That's gross to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross to me. So this is something that I always, it's funny because people will always assume my motives and assume like I'm trying to be accepted or be the man and so on and so forth. And I will read these comments and then I will be telling you and you would always well, go ahead, say what you would say.
I don't know what you're going to say. But I don't know what you're going to say.
You would tell me to leave it alone?
Yeah. And I would say, because, well, first of all, stop reading it. And you see, so for me, it was like, I mean, I'm not in your position, but it's trying to encourage you to focus on how many people stop you and tell you how they have changed their life, how they've come to the Lord because of you, and this and that. Like, not, what I'm saying, how the Lord has used you, not because of you.
Sure, I know what you mean.
You being used by Him. It's like, to me, all that outweighs whatever all this other talk is that people, because everybody has something to say about something. But to me, like, that's what's the important is, like, if that stops, it's like, that's when it's like, okay, what are we doing? What are you doing? Where or who are you being led by? Because to me, that's what the gauge should be is, is being faithful. Are you changing? Like, are you what you want to do is to be used to change lives, and is that what's happening?
So what you're telling me is you the fame and all the highlight reels and all that stuff. I know this because the reality is it never affected you. Yeah. Like you was, if anything, sometimes you have to be reminded, like, hey.
Because at the same time, it's like, I'm literally still doing life. Yeah. It's like stuff has to get done, especially like.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm still doing life. And it's not that I'm not excited about it, but it's like, I'm still having to.
Literally, God put you in my life for humility purposes. It's clear because you don't care. Like, I never met a person who did not care more than you. Like, you don't care. Like, I'm thinking about what's the lady you work with at
Jennifer?
Jennifer. Yes. I'm thinking about the Jennifer.
Shout out Jennifer.
What? Tell the story of what happened with Jennifer when you was telling her about the party and you was debating, or you was like,
oh.
You was like, oh yeah, I got this to do, I got that to do, and then I got this Tyler Perry party or something like that. And
because I didn't want to feel like trying to find something to wear. And she was like, girl.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're like, oh man, I don't think I'm gonna go to this time. Tyler Perry invites us to come out, and you're like, I gotta go find something to wear. I ain't got nothing to wear. I'm probably not gonna go.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, are you crazy?
She's like, Lecrae, I'll go with you.
Right. But you don't care. Like, the limelight, all of the stuff is like, it does not faze you.
No, and now this is what I will say. It's not. It's just. I think that there are perks. There's definitely perks, and there's things that's like, yay, and that comes with it. And I'm not like, those things are not fun or it's not whatever. But at the end of the day, it's, I don't know, what are you doing
here today, going tomorrow?
Yeah. So
the Lord knew what He was doing. Okay, so let's see. One of the audience questions some people ask is, one, did you grieve your old life when I started getting bigger? Did you grieve the simple life that we had when I had to travel more and everything was going on?
No, I've never even thought about that.
Yeah, I think if anything, you just challenged me to live. I won't even say just you, just people in our lives have always said, when you're home, be home. So for me, it was never like, I need to be a star at the house and like, let's go hang with the stars and do famous stuff. It was just like, there was no old life really. It was like, people be like, why are you in the grocery store, Lecrae, with the kids? And I'm like, because my wife is out with her friends and I got the kids. So, okay, another audience question is, how do you stay grounded in yourself when being married to a big personality? I think we just answered that low key. Like, how do you keep from being like, yeah, you know who I am.
Oh, okay.
I'm Lecrae's wife. I'm like,
oh yeah, no, I would like that.
That's gross.
No. Yeah, I couldn't.
Why?
Yeah, no. I feel like we've talked about that before. Like, cause if I was like, that would be a lot.
Like if you was a housewife of Atlanta type vibes. Just,
Well, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna.
That's true.
I'm not gonna go there. But no, we just like I feel like how you say we balance each other out, and I feel like if we didn't have that balance, then we'd be like we would be a mess. Yes.
Yeah,
we would be a mess.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
It'd be a disaster.
Yeah. I mean, I think I for lack of a better word, I think it's just my wiring. Mm-hmm. Just as how God made me. Mm-hmm. And it's
got me out of plenty of
I don't
trouble.
even think I could. If I was gonna be like that, I would have been. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even think I could.
Yeah, a person who is like that is like I think of you. You know who you remind me of in a different kind of way. But there's a online personality, a dude named Uncle John. He's always fixing people's houses and doing stuff. And his wife just gets out there and starts shoveling stuff. And that's what I think of you in the same way. Like, you just like, I know this woman is not out here, but she's like, yeah, I'm just like, what? Your husband got all these views and he's doing all this and this and this. And you just like, yeah, this is who I am. Like, grounded. And I give your parents credit for that. Like, you're a very grounded person who's not like, you don't get
my parents.
You haven't been starstruck. I think the one Charlie Wilson is like the only person that I can think of where you was like, you'd have met everybody. I can't. And Priscilla Shire. Charlie Wilson and Priscilla Shire, the only two times.
And her dad, Pastor Evans.
Oh, Pastor Evans. Yeah, the only times you've been like, oh my gosh. Like, of all the celebrities you'd have met, of all the people, Beyonce walked right by, so many people, and it's like, you're just, nah, I'm not finna be. And somehow I try to get you to be a little more like, come on, man, we in Hollywood. And you like, I'm not doing it.
I will run.
Yeah. That's why you didn't want to do this.
No.
Okay, another audience question. We all know the sacrifice was worth the family you got to raise and love, but do you feel like you put a career on the shelf to invest in the development of your family? Do you feel like you put a part of your life on the shelf?
No. No, because I feel like, yeah, no.
Do you feel like, I guess you didn't, you just dove into wanting to be a full-time mom and caretaker? It wasn't like a...
Well, yeah, I just felt like that's what we talked about before even like getting married, what we wanted. And because at the time, now, of course, some of that maybe be like just being an overprotective or just whatever. It was like, hey, if I have opportunity to be with the kids and know what's going on in their life and being able to be there and not, and we can do that, then I'm all in for that, So no.
Any tips for somebody who's like, hey, raising kids? Like, what do you feel like? I guess one of the questions is like this: was it your responsibility, or was it mine or your responsibility to handle the kids? Especially when they started understanding who I was and I was a public figure, like, whose responsibility was it to kind of keep them in line and keep them in check?
As far as,
I think the thought process is like, who is speaking to who is kind of developing them, and like, what did our roles look like in developing the kids? It's probably more or less what they're trying to communicate.
I don't know. I just feel like, I guess originally from what I was getting from that question, I felt like it was both of us.
Yeah.
I feel like we both have our roles, and I don't know if are they asking as far as, you think, like a fame thing, or?
I think that's part of it. Is they were saying that's the second part, like, especially once they realize who I am. And I don't know what that assumes. Maybe that assumes like they be entitled, or but that's not really. They've run from being associated with the bigness.
Yeah, so. I feel like we both kept home, tried to keep it so normal. Like, it doesn't, like, I feel like there's definitely some things that they definitely see and get to do that other people don't. But I feel like home is so normal. Like even just the fact, like you say, like you've been going to the grocery store with them, the three of them, you in a cart, you know what I'm saying? Like none of that. There's never been. Yes.
A week at a time while you on a girls trip.
That's what I would say. Shout out to Lecrae. He has never had a problem from infancy on. Once again, you want to go, you're like, no, I want to know how to be able to take care of the kids by myself. Like I need to be able to be with them by myself and know what to do and this and that. And you've always done it. So I just feel like that was a both of us, a both and like.
Yeah.
Even to the fact where one, like sometimes our kids are like, what David would say sometimes, like his friends would be like, why you don't have the new this and the new that and the new that? And it's like, no, you're like, no, you can buy yourself a new this or the new that or,
Facts.
So I feel like that's a both and just keeping them, trying our best to.
Yeah. Okay. So touchy subject, but you walked me through a clinically depressed state. You were, I don't know, you had to be a rock in a time where you probably didn't have it. I guess how would you encourage people who have to support a spouse or a husband who can't function at full capacity? What did you learn? What did the Lord show you? How did you navigate it? Yeah.
I definitely is stand definitely. That's why it's always good to stay grounded for yourself and have the word for yourself and stand growing, whatever that looks like for you to grow. For me, it's been different phases. It's been people. It's been Bible studies. It's been my own Bible study. Just definitely staying grounded myself spiritually, so I can be there and be strong during the hard and dark times. So I think that's one thing. I'm sorry, what was the other?
Yeah, just if you had to function during that tough time, like what tools did you have? What did you feel like you needed? Was it the community? I'm just curious from your perspective.
Yeah. I think it's having community, even though I don't always know I need to tell somebody or know I need to reach out, but I still know that they're there. And I know I have people in my life who want to grow as much as well. So leaning on them, even though I may not be asking them to lean on them, or knowing I should be asking. Sometimes I remember you even told me, well, you should reach out. I was like, oh yeah, I should talk to somebody. And, but sometimes I'm not even thinking that, because sometimes you just keep pushing through life and not even realizing like, I need help or I need support. I need support. But I don't know if it answered the question.
Well, here's my question. When you look back, like if you look back on some of those dark times, like I think in 2018, it's just the darkest time in my entire life. When you look back, I'm curious, can you see now how God used you in my life? Not even on that time, but just over the course of my life. Can you see how God has used you? Do you feel like, oh, I see what you were doing with me here, Lord? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely, I would definitely say I can see why God put us together in that aspect of, like even just, I mean, I don't like saying that because it feels whatever, but I do feel like God helped, or like that balance of just the humility and I mean, it is what it is.
Saying God put you in my life to humble. It's like,
well, not just that, but just,
I know what you're saying.
Like
it was like a gift. It's a gift.
Like, yeah, and even like with the quality control, like, with me being QC and quality control, it's like just thinking through, like I don't know. It's so much. I don't even know how to
categorize it all.
Yes, but I think that the Lord definitely has used like my faith, like faith being my what are those? What we used to call it?
Spiritual gift.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's always been my top, and I feel like that like has helped as far as in our marriage to be that for you, you know. Even when if you're feeling whatever, I'm like I'm not doubting,
That used
you know.
to just irk me so bad.
Like
I was like, you don't question nothing.
not that, not when it comes, not that I may question like, am I, you know, what am I doing is raising what am my skills of motherhood or something, but I'm not gonna question the Lord.
You did all right. You got one on about to be about the house.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, Lord, I hope I haven't traumatized my children too much, you know, stuff like that, but not as far as my faith.
A couple other questions. Here's what I'll say. This is one thing I'm gonna just say in light of all of that. Like, because I'm the wordsmith. I'm the romantic. She's the realist. I'm the like, I live in the clouds. I mean, she lives in the clouds too, but in a different way.
Yeah.
I live in the clouds. I'm all like lovey-dovey, artsy, fartsy. And she's more like on the ground, like, well, this is the reality, you know? And I think I'm a realist too, which is why we are connected. But for me, I don't know, honestly don't know what my life would look like. Like I think I would have, like you have stopped me from ruining my life multiple times. You know what I mean? And on top of that, you're so faithful and consistent that in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, man, if I'm leading, like that's a high bar. Somebody who's this faithful and like really believes in the Lord, like, okay, I gotta be for real about this. But the thing I would say, the thing where you have changed my life, is sincerely you have been a rock. Like you have been, I grew up in this dysfunctional background, abandoned, abused, neglected, and here you come just like, I'll be here. And I'm like, yeah, but you're like, no, I'll be here. And I'm like, but you don't, I'll be here. And for me, I'm like, you gonna be here? Like still? Like I'm a mess. And you're like, yeah.
I'm a mess too. We're all a mess.
Which to me is like, that get me emotional. I ain't finna cry today. But to me, that's like where I see the Lord has put you in my life, is because I just expect people to abandon me. I just expect people to run out or to be like, I'm done. One of my worst nightmares is my daughter saying, I don't want you to walk me down the aisle. You're a disaster. You know what I'm saying? And just to think like, oh, she's here. She loves me. She really loves me for me. Like, I wasn't famous. I didn't have this. And she's not here for any other reason other than like, nah, I really love you. I'm really here. And I think that is.
And it's so funny to me. It's like, no, that's how I should be. It's not. It's like that should be normal, not like, I don't know,
like a special thing.
Yeah.
Take your compliment, Darragh. Good God, take your compliment. Nah.
But I mean, yeah.
Talk a little bit about your prayer life, like, because I know you're a faith person. Like a lot of people want to know like what our spiritual life looks like, and I think it's looked different in different seasons.
Yeah, because I think like something that we try, because like we would try to do Bible studies together, and that just did not work out.
It didn't work out because I would be long-winded and trying to teach you the cultural background of every little thing. And
well, I mean, that might have been like early on, but I just felt like we just I don't know, we just felt like it was
our learning styles are
yeah,
different
it was
too.
just different. And so we would do individual studies, or I would find like different seasons I would, have go to certain different Bible studies or different things like that would help. But like for me, my prayer is like for me, I'm like praying off like this throughout the day. Like I just pray. I'm in my car because I'm in the car all the time. So to me, it's just like I'm just talking to God like all the time. So it's not a so that's one thing as far as just praying. I mean, so like you're consistent with, you know, like hey, let's just pray. Let's just pray before we go to bed or together or I don't know. That's what it was.
Yeah, no, I'm just people are just. I think people a lot of times people want a formula.
Oh, and there's no formula.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like
at least for me, there's not.
I don't think we have a formula. That's one. There's definitely because I'm more like I like structure, but like because I'm a loose cannon, I like structure, and you're more.
I like the idea of structure, but I'm not a structure person.
Right. So I think that's what it is. Is like I want to wake up in the morning. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna read my Bible. I'm gonna listen to a sermon. Then I'm gonna go do work or whatever. And then you're like, I may go to the gym with you. I may not. I may sleep in. I may eat breakfast. I may go to breakfast with some friends. I may do like it's just you just all over the place.
I am all over the place.
So I think in raising kids, what was important for you in terms of like spiritual formation? What has that looked like? What's been important for you in raising kids, like as a believer? Like when it comes to raising kids as a Christian mom, what do you feel like, oh, this is important for me?
Well, this is what I would say. Well, my prayers always is just God giving me the wisdom to whatever they need, because I don't ever know how or what they need is. Just use me to give them whatever they need, because I don't always know what that looks like. I don't always know what to say. So for me, I feel like some of the things that's been important, especially now, like as they're getting older, is them seeing us fight through things the right way. Like us having our issues, but seeing us always coming back to the Lord and apologizing and just seeing like, okay, yes, you know, I'm a yeller or I'm a whatever, but I'm trying to work on that. And the Lord is working on me, and I need the Lord to do that. And just for them just to seeing like, I constantly need the Lord to change things in my life and in our marriage or in us, you know what I'm saying? I think just seeing the dependency on the Lord, that I can't do these things by myself, because clearly I need help. We all need help. And he's the only one that can do that. But I think, and especially, I mean, I don't know if I'm answering this or not, but this is my rambling. I think it's just one of my prayers is just want to make sure like we are giving them, that they have the tools that they need, and knowing like, okay, we've done what we can, and just try not to have that guilt of feeling like am I traumatizing them, or am I doing this, or am I doing that, and then that just comes back on me being I, and just really trusting in the Lord that He's given us the tools, He's given us what we need to give to them, and just trusting in that, and trusting like at the end of the day we have to give them over to Him, which is good. Scary going into these phases of life that we are heading into with.
No, you the faith person. You got it.
I have faith in Him.
No, babe, thank you. I appreciate you. You didn't have to do this. You didn't want to do this.
Nope.
But you did it. And I love you for it.
Love you too.
Thank y'all. Thank the people.
Or I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, you're right. She does love me.
This is The Deep End with Lecrae.